overall, the challenge that our young people are facing, whether it's in Denver Municipal, whether it's in state court, is the reality of facing down the school to prison pipeline. A significant number of young people, particularly our Black and brown youth, as well as our youth with disabilities, they get tickets here in the municipal space. Things then lead to state charges, which then lead to kids being charged as adults. And so we've been moving further and further and further down this pipeline. And then we got to this space of seeing that kids were in Denver Municipal Court with no lawyers, no counsel, no advice. In December of 2023, City Council made a unanimous vote and created a full-time employee position for the Office of Municipal Public Defenders to have a youth defense attorney. And so even in the entire state of Colorado, we are the only municipal court that has public defenders for children. There's a lot of poverty-related crimes. There's a lot of petty offenses, but then people are ending up in the system because they can't pay their way out. So the kids that only had access to defense counsel were kids whose families could afford defense counsel. So of course the families and the kids are gonna go the route of, let's just get this over with, right? And that can be taking a plea, that can be entering diversion. It's gonna be the quickest route that costs the least amount of money because there's other life things that are happening where you have already this idea that, oh, it's a ticket, it's no big deal. The reality is that it is step one in the school to prison pipeline. And the reason for that is because the moment a young person gets a ticket, their school can be notified. And then a kid can be suspended or expelled or threatened with expulsion, threatened with suspension. And then everything just spirals out of control because that kid is no longer in school. In terms of adolescent brain development, research says that there's a constant rewiring that is happening. This is a time when pathways are changing, when messaging can be coming in based on the environment, based on the feedback that can create this self-identity. If you are a young kid and you find yourself pulled into the system, that will affect every aspect of your life. That'll affect the way in which you view yourself in this world. It affects the way in which people view you in the world. I have had kids tell me that they have been labeled bad so many times that they're like, all right, then I'll show you bad. So how can we give a different message that's like, I see you, I hear you, I know you're in pain. I have been in that space too. Let me help you. One of the experts that I've spoken with has called it, kids are all gas and no brake, right? Like they're not thinking about future consequences. They're thinking about, okay, what's the fastest way to get this over with? We're realizing that there's a lot of folks out there with warrants, right? From when they were kids, from alleged school fights as children, right? And then suddenly they're applying for jobs, background check is done, and they're told you have a warrant. Like they're told you have a pending assault charge from like 5 years ago, and then they're not able to get that job. They're not able to get that housing. So then they have to come through and handle that. So that's a change, right? Is we're able to help folks who are meeting barriers now in their adulthood based off of very small charges from their past when they were children, when they were acting out of their adolescent behavior. That's why I do this. Because growing up as a little Black girl, I felt so unseen and so uncared for, and I very easily could have been pulled into the system. Bell Hooks has a book called All About Love and talks about the only way that there can really be justice is if we are not treating children like property. And so to have us here, it relieves a lot of fear. Like we aren't here to get you in trouble. We're here to actually help you navigate this very complicated process. That's when we see change, is when that trust is there, when a kid is being told you matter, your voice matters, let's do this together. Having these interventions now, connecting kids with youth orgs, keeping them in school and protecting their education rights rather than later on and kind of bandaging things up, that to me would be success. And so now that we have this position, we have the time and the capacity to investigate. But I don't think people knew just the depth to which municipal court tickets and tickets that kids have, how that it can affect their futures. And now they know, and now we get to do something about it. You can contact the Office of Municipal Public Defender. Please, if you are worried or if you have been trying to close out a case, right? Even if you've been trying to get something sealed or expunged from when you were a kid, contact us. We're here to even reach out to other municipal courts, right? Like, are you having trouble getting in contact with another county? We can try and help you with that too. I know it's scary, but we are here now to help you navigate that space, and we want to help you. The ways in which we can help are endless.
Stay elevated by subscribing to the city's YouTube page and stay tuned to our social media channels for more content. Don't miss our new episodes of Elevating Denver, premiering each month. Thanks for watching, Denver.